This is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission, broadcasting from Ankara in the 49-meter band between 1930 and 2030 UTC on 6050 kHz to Europe, between 2130 2230 UTC in the 31-meter band on 9610 kHz to South Asia and Australia, between 23 and 24 UTC in the 49-meter band and on 5960 kHz to Europe, Eastern USA and Canada, and in the 31-meter band on 9660 kHz between 1730 and 1830 UTC, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. The Voice of Turkey is also beamed between 4 and 5 UTC in the 49-meter band and on 6125 kHz to Europe, the USA, Eastern Canada and Cuba, between 4 and 5 UTC in the 41-meter band on 7,285 kHz to Iraq, Syria, Iran and the Arabian Peninsula. You can listen to us over the Turksat 3A and 4A satellites and on the internet at trt.net.tr through the Voice of Turkey link. Please note that transmissions broadcast between 22 and 23 UTC and between 3 and 4 UTC have been pre-recorded. Our email address is englishdesk@trt.net.tr.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. This is Halil İbrahim Sarıkaya from Voice of Turkey. Today, 15th of December 2021. You are listening to the reads. Russian-French presidents discuss migration crisis along Belarusian-Polish border. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday discussed the migration crisis on the Belarusian-Polish border with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron. In a phone call, Putin and Macron stressed that the crisis must be resolved within the framework of international humanitarian norms, according to a Kremlin statement. In refusing to accept the migrants trying to cross Belarus borders, Poland and the Baltic countries are violating their international obligations to protect the migrants' rights, Putin said. He added that the representatives of EU members should not consult with Belarus on such issues. Some 2,000 people are waiting at Belarus-Bruzgi border crossing into Poland without housing and in a poor conditions, as the weather girls called it. Since August, the EU countries bordering Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia and Poland have reported a dramatic rise in irregular crossing. More than 8,000 people have tried to enter block via the Belarusian EU border in 2021, up sharply from just 160 last year. According to EU, Belarus reaches out of the potential travelers through seemingly official channels, including diplomatic missions and travel agencies, and lures them to Belarus by offering them visas. They are then endlessly guided to the EU border. US COVID-19 deaths surpassed 800,000, John Hopkins. COVID-19 deaths in the US surpassed 800,000 Tuesday, according to John Hopkins University. The Maryland-based educational institution has also registered more than 50.2 million infections since the first case was confirmed in Washington state in January 2019. The country continues to lead the world in coronavirus fatalities. Earlier in the day, White House spokeswoman Jen Psaki cited a new study from the Commonwealth Fund, which she said found that vaccinations have saved over 1 million lives, prevented more than 10 million hospitalizations, and prevented more than 35 million COVID cases since President Joe Biden took office. This is not by accident. The President made it his top priority to make sure vaccines were readily available to Americans as early as possible, said Psaki. EU studying all scenarios for Russia's actions against Ukraine. The European Union Diplomatic Service is currently examining various scenarios for Russia's actions against Ukraine to prepare to block for all possibilities, its top diplomat said Tuesday. We are expecting the best, but we are preparing the worst, Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell told EU lawmakers regarding the bloc's response to massive Russian military buildup. in an Around Ukraine in his speech at the European Parliament's plenary session in Strasbourg, France. Borrell said the concentration all troops is an attempt to undermine for Ukrainians territorial integrity, which was already jeopardized when Russia took over Crimea. He admitted that they were studying the different scenarios that one could imagine that could happen the following days or weeks in order to prepare the EU's response to any development. France may have reached peak of fifth COVID wave. France may have reached the peak of the fifth epidemic wave of COVID-19, the country's health minister said Tuesday, as health experts projected the beginning of the sixth wave in January. It seems that we have reached an epidemic peak in our country, a very high peak, 50,000 contaminations per day now. It is the highest what we have experienced since the start of pandemic. Olivier Véran told lawmakers in the National Assembly. Véran said the country's health crisis is likely to worsen with increased hospital admissions in the next 2 weeks. His statements of concern comes amid the detection of cases of the Omicron variant, which is considered to be highly contagious. And that was the news brought to you by the Voice of Turkey.